via the boats to Jérémy. And there is a few flights to Jacmel, not regular flights. Yes, Jacmel.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm glad you chose to be with us tonight. I'm excited about our guest presenters, but a couple of just announcements first. Just to remind you that the Indiana Regional Twinning Gathering will be Saturday, October 12th. We have about, I think, 35 or 40 registered so far. We're hoping to welcome many more folks. So if you can join us in Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. We have folks coming from Georgia, from Tennessee, so Illinois, so coming from all over. And then just a reminder too, you'll continue to hear this from me and see announcements about the national conference. That'll be a little under a year now. So August of 2025, August 15th through the 17th, we'll be happy to see so many of you in person. We're really putting together, I think it'd be a great conference that. So really excited about tonight. I wanted to welcome Josh Anderson and his wife, Megan Boudreau. They run an organization called Respire Haiti, which it works in the Gracier area of Haiti, primarily working with restivics or household slaves. Many of you are aware of that circumstance in Haiti, and they can tell us a little bit about Respire Indiana if they'd like to. But I met them at a conference and learned about this online program to train social workers. And as I began to reflect on that, I have a master's in social work. It's fine. It's been most of my career. And I was like, wow, that's just a great idea to think about employing social workers in Haiti. And then I applied it to thinking about our parishes where, you think about our pastors and often our principals, they serve in every role there is because there aren't many other support staff. And so as I thought about it, wow, if some of us were to send students who graduate from our schools that were folks in the community to get a degree in social work, they could really be a support to our pastors, to our schools, because we know there are obviously so many social issues that our friends face at our parishes. So they become trained and knowledgeable about the laws and rules about family life and all kinds of things that people will help them to navigate some of the challenges that they face. So I thought it'd really be worthwhile to let you all in on this up until now, a great secret that we should all know about. And I want to introduce to you Josh and Megan and their tiny little baby named, I didn't get the name yet.
Her name's Isabel.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being with us tonight, and we look forward to hearing what you have to share.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited. I am unfortunately going to end up having to jump off, and I'll let Megan run through the slides, but we are grateful to be here. So thank you very much.
He just wanted to pop in and say,
make an introduction.
He'll be the watcher of the baby. But yeah, so as David said, just a little bit of background on Respire Haiti and kind of how we got to, I guess, where we are with the School of Social Work. We were founded in 2011, so we've been in Haiti for a little bit of time and kind of learned the landscape and a lot of things in Gracier, which is between Port-au-Prince and Léogâne, for those of you that are familiar with the area. Like David said, also, we started with primarily restivics, which are child slaves or domestic servants. And our school has over 600 students. We also have a medical clinic, which is physical therapy, occupational therapy, as well as malnutrition and those programs. And it kind of morphed also into a mental health program. And so kind of touching base with all of those as we kind of started realizing that mental health really needed to be a big focus for our students, for our teachers, for all of our staff. We started doing a lot more research back in 2014, 2015, and realized that there was not a lot of schools that did social work. And so we tried to kind of partner with the existing School of Social Work that was there, and they were kind of going through some transition. And so what ended up happening is that we kind of just started advocating for this school. And back in, I guess, like 2021, 2022, we kind of acquired the School of Social Work ourselves. So, David, I do have a PowerPoint if you'd like for me to share.
That'd be great. You should be able to.
Yes, sorry. Share screen. Here we are. Okay. You guys see that?
There we go.
Right. So, oh, funny. I gotta go all the way back. Sorry, you guys. It's actually, this School of Social Work has been around for a little bit. But recently in 2018, we became accredited through, the Episcopal University of Haiti. So when people are going to this school, they're actually receiving a degree, that is associated with the University of Haiti, Episcopal University of Haiti. And so basically, people are always asking the question, well, why social work? What is the reasoning behind having social workers in Haiti? And the truth is as of right now, we have so many children that need to have people advocate for them, whether it's in a school or a medical setting. And, the ideal caseload of a social worker would be anywhere between 2 and 12, or even a little bit, above that. And what we realized is when we were trying to hire a social worker for our school of 600, we could only find 2. And, a caseload of 300 students was just crazy to even think about. And so as we kind of started doing more research, we realized, there's really no statistics of how many social workers there are in Haiti. And additionally, there's not actually a body that licenses social workers. So, you can get a degree from our school that's accredited. We are, in fact, the only school of social work in the whole country. There's a couple of other schools that do social services degrees, but in general, there's no license yet for the country of Haiti for a social worker. And so I say that to say that is our goal. This is a process, as many of you know, if you've ever worked and done anything in Haiti, it's a marathon and is not a sprint. And so that's kind of our end goal, is we would like to ensure that there are actually licensed social workers in Haiti. And so, part of the reason of social work is, of course, they work with kids. And as you guys know, there's a lot of children in Haiti, 3.7 million children estimated in Haiti, but they also work with families. And so in general, the population of 11 million people, we would say, every single school, every single clinic should have a social worker. And that is also our ultimate goal. And so just a little intro into the social work school. It was founded before 2018, but in 2018, there was kind of this reinvention of it as it's called FTSJS, the Faculté de Travail Social et Justice Sociale. And so it's basically, social work school and school of social justice. And so we basically partnered with the University of SUNY Buffalo to establish our curriculum, and we're continuing to refine our curriculum. I just taught a class last semester on outcomes for homeless children or street children, and focused on rest-of-ex and street children and stuff like that, which is obviously not necessarily in the curriculum of a lot of the American schools here. So we have continued to kind of refine, I guess, the curriculum and try and make it more appropriate to even now with, existing in such a violent, situation in Haiti. Things have to be refined within the curriculum. So we're trying to make it as Haiti specific as possible, with also following just the structure of a degree in social work. So currently right now we have 40 students enrolled, and there's 9 students working on our final project. For some of you, you might be like, oh, that doesn't seem like a very big school, but the reality is that, and the blessing is, even with COVID, even with the crazy chaos in Haiti and the civil unrest, the gang violence, we have not had to close once, because this is completely online. And so the only thing that we have to have is internet, which, thanks to Starlink, we have had in a very, easy way. And then the students have to have access to computers. So I heard someone mention computers. I'm like, ooh, maybe I should be on your next call to hear about that, because that is something that they also would need. And so right now, the reason that we do kind of keep the enrollment a little bit low is because when you're having online classes and you're working through Zoom, it's tough. Like even right now, I can only see 5 of you guys' faces on the side when I'm presenting. It's hard to kind of have that interaction and make make sure that students are retaining the information and available to answer questions, ask questions. And so we're keeping the classes small. The goal eventually would be to move into also kind of a brick and mortar location. We've looked at Cap-Haitian, we've looked at locations in Lake High as well. We've looked at several locations that will probably end up developing our school to have an actual school, and then also keep the online portion as well. And so that's kind of where we're at. This year is the first year ever since 2018 where we actually have more students apply than we have space for, which is amazing. That means that we're gaining traction, we're getting interest, and people are understanding the importance of social work. When, way back in 2011, when I first opened the school, I remember asking students, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what would you like to study? And they all would say, a nurse, a lawyer, a nurse, a lawyer. Like those were the two things that they knew. And it's so exciting because now I think we've got 5 students from Respira Haiti along in different classes in the School of Social Work right now. And so it's becoming something that's a little bit more well-known in our area and beyond. So the cost of it, this is a question that everybody asks. So the tuition itself costs $2,000, and the reason why is because all of our teachers are certified with a master's. They're in Canada, they're in Haiti, they're in France, they're in the United States, and it represents, how we get our curriculum, how we're kind of doing our research. It's kind of an all-encompassing thing. It's not, we don't make any money. The School of Social Work doesn't make money. We, are making what we need to pay our staff and to make sure that we have the curriculum available. And then as you can see, the application and registration fee, and then there's a $200 online learning fee. And the reason for that, once again, is, if you're looking at the cost to get an accredited degree, this is actually a really awesome, number for that. And we've worked really hard to try and get it to just be as chiseled as possible. And there are a lot of organizations that, are willing to pay this because they also are able to send students from their area, so they might be from a small area. Like we've got an organization called My Life Speaks that they're in a small little town called Nepali, a little village called Nepali, and they're sending 2 students because they know that they're going to be able to come back and work for My Life Speaks. And so it is an investment in a lot of these students. It's an investment in their own organization as well. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. I get excited and I, forget that
Megan, remind us how long the program is.
It's a 4-year degree.
4
It is
years,
a
okay.
4-year degree. Uh-oh. Now I'm not able. Okay, looking forward. So this is a question that I put in here because a lot of times I get it. Who needs social workers? And in general, I would say everybody needs social workers, whether it's a school, a clinic, but anybody who works with children in Haiti should have social workers. And the reason being is just the challenges that you see within families, within, the family unit, the different areas of Haiti. It is definitely something that there is a huge, huge need for. And, especially with kind of the model that Respira Haiti has of keeping children within their own families and kind of pulling away from the orphanage model and focusing more on the family unit. That is also something where social workers are set up to kind of help in that area as well. So what do we do now? The goal is, like I had said in the beginning, is that we really think that if we're investing in social workers and we're able to kind of grow the amount, grow that supply, that we will see long-term change throughout Haiti. Obviously, education, obviously medical care, all of those things are so important. But as we have always, said, and that we've learned in our own school, it's very hard to teach children who have been through trauma. It's very hard to teach children who have experienced things that are challenging, and their brains are trying to learn new things. And so the goal of this and the goal of kind of making it more available for, all of Haiti is that if there are more social workers to help within schools and to help identify some of these struggles, it will help in the long run for everything. So as I said, as well. The hope is to kind of get as many students that we can within the School of Social Work. But the other way that it benefits organizations all throughout Haiti is that we do something called field placement. And field placement is basically like an internship. And this is a chance where a student in the School of Social Work is placed with organizations all over the country. We've had students placed in Cap-Haïtien and Kai and Jacmel and St. Mark, everywhere. We've had them placed in schools, in hospitals, in medical clinics, and orphanages. And this is a chance for them to kind of see how other organizations work within Haiti and how they can offer kind of what they've been learning. And then they're able to kind of bring back to us maybe some of the things that we're not teaching, or some of the questions that they didn't know how to answer. And so that is a semester long field placement. And like I said, we've done it all over Haiti. And so the goal as well is to kind of help these other organizations see that having a social worker kind of makes their jobs easier. And it also kind of helps the students, benefits the students and the community. We also have not gotten to this place, but our hope is that we would have potential eventually for students to kind of study abroad in the States. As of right now, there is no program for a master's in social work, and there is no official license for social workers. And so those are things that we would like to get to eventually. But as of now, since they're not offered in Haiti, those are things we're thinking that we might be able to have students go to Canada or other places and receive that education. And then lastly, as I kind of said in the beginning, our ultimate goal, once we hope and pray that Haiti settles down, is to kind of have a brick and mortar, like an actual school again, where we would have the ability for Americans, Haitians, French, all of these different teachers that have taught to come in person and to do some on-site teaching. So this is kind of my crux of it, because I know that there's probably a lot of questions, but in general, partnerships obviously create a better Haiti, but partnerships also can benefit and will benefit the children in Haiti. And so social work is an extremely important part of this. We've seen it firsthand over the last 13 years of working in Haiti. We've seen how different our students are whenever they feel like their needs and their trauma and things that they've been through are being addressed. We've seen how families stay together and are feeling more supportive whenever they do have some of the tools that social workers are able to offer. And our hope in general is to kind of just spread the word that there is a School of Social Work, that this is something that is a need in Haiti, and that it might not be the first thing that people think of, but in the long run, it's something that's going to really be able to benefit and change Haiti.
Megan, many of us are in the United States, of course, are aware of our child welfare system. We know, for instance, if a child is abused, we call child protective services, those kinds of things. I don't think most of us are aware that there are rules, regulations, laws about children and family life in Haiti. I wonder if you could speak to that a bit. You talked about that some at the conference, and I found that really fascinating.
Yeah. The reality is there is actually, I mean, since 1986, 1995, I could go on and name all these different laws that have been created to protect children, whether it's that they have the right to go to school, yet there's still 50% of children that are not in school. There's, IBSR, which is the Institut Bien-être Social, which is basically like the Haitian version of CPS, and BPM, which is the Brigade Protection for Minors. There are these bodies that are available. It's the resources. Excuse me. It's just the idea that, they don't have the support they need. They don't actually have the ability to kind of do the things that they need to do, but it's also they don't have the resources, like the manpower. It's very hard for even IBSR to have enough social workers to do what they need to do. So it's challenging because there are these bodies that exist, but there's not the manpower behind them, I guess.
Very good. Megan, did you want to take some questions from our group
Sure.
thing?
Yes. I was just going to say, if anybody has any questions,
Yeah.
I'm going to grab my water really fast. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. I'm back.
Megan, I'm going to ask you to stop your share, then I can see more of our folks, because some of them will raise hands and then I can.
There we go.
Oh, very good. There I can see. Anybody have a question for Megan? Yeah, John? Go ahead, John.
So what is the salary of an annual salary for these social workers?
That's a great question. What we say is that when they graduate, it depends. If you're in Port-au-Prince, obviously that's a little bit more of a, I guess, easier place to work than somewhere in the countryside. But the average salary is anywhere between $600 and $1,200 per month.
Are you
Um,
affiliated with a college?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that question.
Are you affiliated with a college or a university? That should be part of their.
Yeah, so we are a part of the Episcopal University of Haiti, and so that's where we're accredited under. Back in 2016, the Episcopal University also started a branch that is known as FSRL, and they do physical therapy and occupational therapy. And they're right next door in Leogon. And that's how we kind of got to know the Episcopal University. And so we are very much kind of trying to shadow what they're doing. I mean, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, you could not find a physical therapist or occupational therapist in Haiti because there was no school. So they created this school with the Episcopal University's help. And now within ourselves, we've got a registered physical therapist, occupational therapist, and many other therapy techs. And we've seen how them being associated with an accredited university and kind of branching out throughout Haiti, how it's been successful. So we kind of partnered along with Episcopal University as well. And we're trying to model the same thing, but on the social work realm.
Thank you, Megan. Catherine, you had your hand up. Go ahead and just unmute yourself.
Sorry, was that for me, David?
No, go ahead, Catherine. We'll get to you next, Denny.
Okay.
So do the students have all their books digitally and is everything in French?
Yes, great question. It is all digital and it is in a lot of it is in Creole, which that's a whole nother side that David heard a lot about at the conference. I believe learning in Haitian Creole, which is their native tongue, learning in Haitian Creole is really great. It's important for the comprehension. So most of it is taught in Haitian Creole. There are classes taught in French. If there are teachers that teach in English, then they have a translator that translates as well. And so yes, to the online piece of it, a lot of it is, like I just did, like slideshows and sharing. And then a lot of it also is online textbooks that are easy to access.
Thank you. Yeah, Denny.
Yeah, I got a couple questions, actually. Megan, I'm the computer guy, okay? And so a couple questions are, one is, how many students do you have enrolled right now at any one time? That's question number one. Question number two is, if this whole program is online, are they expected to be able to go online from their homes, wherever they live in Haiti? Or do you have little centers where they can gather and go online, as a group? Because that would certainly drive the demand for computers. Okay, so go ahead.
Ooh, Denny, I'm so glad to meet you. Nice. I'm writing all this down. Fabulous. Great questions. Right now we have 40 students enrolled with an entering class of 15. So we'll have 55 students enrolled in our school in total. We try and only take about 15 in a class. That's about how many, even looking right now, I mean, I'm seeing 5, 10, 50, this is 20 something people. It's a lot to handle a larger class than we feel like about 15. So that's the first question. We also will have 9 graduating on top of that, finishing kind of their final project, which is like your thesis, so that's a huge project that they've been working on. And then to answer your second question, Absolutely. I love that idea. And that is something that we've been working on this last semester and that our students have been doing, because originally with kind of COVID, it kind of morphed to online. Everybody's like in their own little place with their computer. And we realized it's kind of boring and it's kind of hard to do school like that. And so they kind of organically started setting up their little satellite places because they're like, oh, you're in Leogon, so am I. You're in Port-au-Prince, so am I. You're in Cap-Haïtien, so am I. And so we kind of started doing that as well. And so this next entering class will actually have, I believe, like 5 that are going to be working from Leogon and like 5 that are going to be working from Jacmel. So I like where your mind's at, because that's exactly where we are kind of hoping to get to.
I'll leave it at that. You can work through David. David, you know how to get a hold of me. And I'll be in Indy on October 12th. And maybe we'll meet then. Okay. But I think I can help. Okay.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, John.
I have another question. Of those 9 who are graduating, do any of them have jobs yet?
Oh, I believe last I heard, I think all of them already do. And one of them we employ. So I can double check on that. But I mean, I literally have my whole enrollment speech that I do in Creole to students is, you have a job the second you start this school, because there's so many organizations that are reaching out and wanting social workers. So I believe those 9 do, but I believe that there's a handful that because their organizations have moved or closed down, that are available for hire.
Do they get hired through an organization? I'm not too sure what that is, or a school system.
I wish they would get hired through a school system, but as of now, it's an organization. Our goal eventually would be to work with the Ministry of Education, or DIEP, which is the Department of Partnership, basically, because in our lofty vision, we would one day hope that every school would have a social worker either working with them or available for them. We're not there yet because the supply is not there, but we would love to work with the school system, which would be the government, in implementing that.
Thank you. Mr. Irwin, you got your hand up. You unmute for us. Richard, you need to unmute.
All right.
There we
Can you
go.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Megan, it's a wonderful presentation. And I was wondering, do you partner in any way with other schools? And I was thinking along the same thing that Denny was talking about. Finding students in rural areas that have internet access that they can. But in our area, we have a community college that might be able to have 4 or 5 students that would be in one location and be able to use the more powerful internet to be able to participate in classes and things like that. And I don't know if you've thought about any partnering or anything else along those lines.
That is a great question. And eventually that is definitely something that we would like to do. Right now, part of it is a funding issue of, we have some professors that volunteer their time freely, but we also have paid staff that work for the School of Social Work and that kind of help us develop curriculum and research and get all of these things together. And so in keeping with that, that's part of why our class size is kind of growing, slowly, where we don't want to make the leap from 30 to 100, and then not be able to handle what we are doing. So eventually, yes, I would say in the next 2 to 3 years, we would love to have kind of satellite locations. We ourselves have a computer lab, and that is where a lot of times our students go and take their classes. And so that we've seen that it works better. They're able to kind of ask questions with each other, ask questions. They kind of interact more with each other and with the class. So that's definitely where we would like to head.
And Megan, what I was thinking about was if you can imagine students in a school and university where there is a graduate student in the classroom, which basically is helping just to facilitate. It's not necessarily a social worker themselves, but helps to facilitate with the class and assignments and those types of things. So I was thinking more of that than, actually offering the whole program in another school. When I was talking about partnering, it's really just to find a way that if there's 4 or 5 students that might like to do the same thing, it's probably a lot more efficient for them to be able to go to one place local and be able to attend class that way, but not to physically sponsor the class there. So you wouldn't have, there wouldn't be faculty there. It would be more of a facilitator, and the students themselves would all be,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love that idea. We like I said, eventually we would like to get to that point. I think it's a numbers thing, and it's also a an interaction thing. Part of the rules, I guess, for enrollment is you have to have your camera on at all times. We can't be speaking to just someone's name on the screen. It helps them pay attention, it helps the interaction, it helps the teachers, the professors who are teaching. I know when I was teaching, it's a lot easier to teach to faces than a bunch of names and just talk to a computer. And so that's kind of part of the whole situation, is that, the internet, thankfully with Starlink and a lot of the new computers that people are bringing down to Haiti, we're able to do that. But I would love to have something like that, Richard. I think that's a great goal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Dr. Sue.
Hi, Megan, I was just wondering if we wanted to sponsor one of the recent high school graduates from our twin parish, would it be too late for that person to start this school year with you guys?
So as of now, we're still taking applications up until next week. We don't do, I know, just in the nick of time.
Yeah.
We don't do the American schedule of like August to December. It's more of like an October to February. We kind of follow the school year. So those of you who know, Haitian schools start in October for the most part. That's what we follow. So for that being said, yes, I can give the application link to David, and maybe he can email it out. The application enrollment, all of that is done by our Haitian staff, and there's an actual application and enrollment process.
So the results of the 13th grade baccalaureate exam aren't even available yet. So kids don't even know yet whether they are able to be quote unquote a high school graduate. So we wouldn't know which
Wow.
students would perhaps be eligible to even apply as of
Yeah,
right
we're aware of that. Yeah, we just got our 9th grade results back maybe a week and a half
Yeah,
or 2
same
weeks
here.
ago. So we're hoping that will be soon. But with that being said, I mean, yeah, we can't not accept somebody because for something that's not their fault. And so we will have to kind of play that one by ear. I know that there's several students that have applied that graduated a year or 2 ago. So they do have their results back. So I know, I think there's maybe 4 kids that haven't received their results yet. So we're aware of that and kind of working with them.
Great, thank you. Jim.
Hi, Megan. Couple of quick questions. One more practical. So I'm assuming students cannot apply if they don't have regular access to the internet, or I don't even know, are there like internet cafes that people can go to go to class?
Yeah, there are several that use internet cafes. There are several that use different, kind of offices or places that are set up that have internet. Believe it or not, it's not been a huge struggle for a lot of the students to find internet, which kind of blows my mind even in the midst of everything, because it is becoming more readily available. But those that do have problems accessing internet, we kind of are helping them to maybe kind of find satellite places, which is why,
Okay.
kind of as previously stated, we would love to have kind of hubs, which would make it easier for them. But
Yeah, yeah, our parish is right in the middle of all the violence, and it's tough to
Mhm.
set them up, if we sponsored somebody.
Yeah.
Thanks for your presentation, by the way. Could you maybe, from a 30,000-foot level, kind of connect the dots between we're having more social workers and ending the orphanage crisis? Like, how exactly would that happen over time?
Oh gosh, I'll try not monologue for hours about this because this is like my huge passion. Um, so, um, I think a lot of the issues with orphanages and children kind of being disconnected from their families in Haiti has stemmed from the lack of support that families have, the lack of resources that families have. And so I can give, several examples that might kind of help to hone in. But, specifically speaking, we run a special needs program. We have 2 special needs classes at our school, and we have 19 kids that have special needs that are enrolled in our school. Our social workers have created a support group for these families and these parents and have educated them on, this is what it means to have Down syndrome. This is what it means to have cerebral palsy. Here are some resources. Here's help. Here's where your student can be. Here's what they can learn to do. And so in general, social workers, in the aspect of how we work with social workers in Haiti and how they work with families, it's very hands-on. It's very much kind of creating these support groups, not necessarily running them, but creating and facilitating these groups that are able to support each other. And so in saying that, for those of you who don't know, I mean, over 80% of all children in orphanages in Haiti have at least one living parent. They're not true orphans, which means both parents are not deceased. A lot of children in Haiti are poverty orphans. They've been put into orphanages because their parents can't afford schooling or they can't afford medical care or whatever it might be. And so the goal of kind of educating social workers and making sure that they're going out into the entire country is to show parents that, hey, you actually can support your student and your child by doing, this, that, or the other. Or here are some resources. Here are some schools that offer a discounted education or open resources for medical care, whatever it might be. Other examples are, we've had students that have risk being put into orphanages because they had something like a club foot or they had a hearing problem. And when you are able to connect parents with the resources, they realize like, oh, wait, this isn't as big of a deal as I thought. Like, I'm able to do this. And so kind of the social work aspect is the thing that really does keep the families together in providing resources and educating parents about what they have available in Haiti.
Very good, thanks.
Yeah, Dave Harper now.
There it is. Megan, first of all, thank you for taking this on. I can't imagine the planning and all of the other things that you do, but being a retired social worker and having been to Haiti a number of times, I can concur with the need for the profession. My question, though, is that in-field placements, practicums, whatever you might call it, is generally part of the curriculum, at least here in the US. Is it part of your curriculum as well? And if it is, how many hours or days or however you count it are students in the field?
That's a great question. Yes, it is a requirement. They do in-field placements throughout the country, and it's typically their last 2 semesters. Um, I don't know the actual hours of it. believe it or not, I was just a psychology major. I don't know how I never majored in social work. My best friend's a social worker. I have like fallen upon this. It's such a passion. And yet, I guess right after I graduated college, I moved to Haiti. And I feel like if I wouldn't have, I probably would be doing social work in a different capacity. So to answer the specifics about the curriculum, I'm not sure about the hours. But yes, they do a lot of infield, on the ground studies. They do on the ground with schools like ours. We've had probably 17 different social workers come through at any given point. But the goal in the way that we're running the program is that they have to spend a specific semester at one place, kind of learning and growing and reporting back. They're overseen by one specific professor that they report back to and kind of are able to meet with weekly and talk through what they're working on. And then they do complete, we call it their final project, which is very similar to a thesis. And they pick a specific topic. We have our social worker that we've hired that's doing his final project right now, and he's doing his final project on the rest of X situation and kind of healthy outcomes that can be had. And so he basically is writing this entire thing, and he's got case studies from our school and from all over Haiti. So it's similar in some aspects, and then we try and make it as achievable, I guess is the word, achievable as we can in Haiti with the resources that we have.
Thank you.
Perfect. Denny, did you your hand up again, or is it still up? I couldn't tell.
Oh, I did have a question, and
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to be reading the questions that are in the chat column, but at the risk of stating the obvious, I like Megan's comment about trying to get employment for social workers within the Haitian public school system and how difficult that might be. I know from my experience in putting computers in schools that many, many years ago, I met with Delille Antoine, who at the time was the head of the 2,300 Catholic schools in Haiti. I know too that Monica Walker is working with the Catholic Bishop of Hinch. They have 55 or 60 schools. And I'm working separately with Bishop Dorsley, who is the Methodist Bishop of Haiti. And they have about 150 schools in Haiti. So my point in making all of that, saying all of that, is simply that there are school systems that go outside of what we would call the public school system. And they would all be places that I think would be very receptive to having social workers working within their school district. And I'll leave that to you, okay?
Oh, I love this. Are you available for a meeting tomorrow, Denny? I think this is fabulous. I love that because yes, I'm trying to say this and be politically correct, but the use of other networks within Haiti amongst the school system is a necessity because right now, as I'm sure you all know, the school system that MINEF, which is the Ministry of Education, runs, is very challenging. There's a lot of schools that function as schools that aren't even really necessarily schools. There's a lot of schools that aren't even registered with the government. It would be a very, very challenging task to go through that route, but also at the same time, it's a little bit necessary. So I love that you brought that up, and I was hoping that someone would. I wasn't aware of the number exactly, but I knew it was a couple thousand schools that are kind of monitored by just the Catholic diocese, I guess I should say. So I would love to kind of entertain that because I think in general, yes, every single school in Haiti, that would be the goal. My family and I, we lived in Haiti for 10 years. We just moved back a few years ago. And so my kids, I have older kids, I actually have 2 kids in college and one that's in high school. And just seeing the resources that they are offered here and I'm in Louisiana, it just blows my mind. Every school here has the ability to have kind of some of those resources. And I feel like in Haiti, that's definitely a goal and something that we can do. And so just you bringing that up that's exactly where our vision is. And that's why we're trying to kind of start from, the roots and work our way up, is because we want this to be something that organizations know about. We don't want just random people to apply that don't even understand what social work is. We want people who are really passionate about it. And it sounds like some of you guys have a lot of experience in social work, which is exciting because I feel like it really is just such a huge thing that can change Haiti,
Fantastic.
Just to put the icing on the cake for that one, I've said it only about 1,000,000 times. Thank God, and I mean that literally, thank God for all of these private, I hate to use the word private, but for all of these schools that are run by the Catholic Church and every other denomination you can think of that have schools in Haiti. Okay,
Absolutely.
if it weren't for that, Haiti would be in a whole lot worse shape than it is right now. Okay, so
Absolutely.
I mean, you let me know if I can help you tap in to any of that, because the work you're doing is equally as important as the educational work that we're trying to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, 70% of all schools in Haiti are private schools that are run by, either private individuals or by organizations. You're absolutely right. And you're absolutely right. The collapse of kind of some of these public schools, especially in the last 4 years, has been monumental. At least in our area, most of the public schools are not running and haven't been running for a while.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, David.
Yes, thank you. So you've all heard me talk about Starlink before, and I'll mention it again because it overlaps with this whole conversation too. A dependable internet connection is so critical. Some of you have already put Starlink at your parish. I have at ours. It's just truly remarkable. And I got a message from our friend Kevin Keene, who runs Brighton, Haiti. He presented with Denny some months ago, but he made the point that he's working on putting together a battery system. So it'll be a battery, storage battery, and a single solar panel that will together be able to power a computer, the Starlink system, charge several cell phones, all of that for $500. $500 for the solar panel and the battery. And he's getting ready to put together that in a package. And I'm going to put that message out to all of you. And if you're interested, because not everybody can afford a full solar system for, for the whole rectory or the whole school or whatever, you're getting into many thousands there. But for simply $500, you got the capacity to run that system. And Kevin made the point too, that if parishes want to make a little money off of it, they can charge people to charge their cell phones. They can charge them like an internet cafe to use the internet for a period of time. So literally, your parish, you could set aside a room where 4 or 5 students could come in and do their social work class together, and you can charge them a small fee to do that if you'd like. So lots of possibilities it opens up, and the Starlink system is, if we purchase it and have it installed, it's about $950, and then it's $50 a month. So you think about the kind of money that we often send now, that's a relatively small amount to open the entire world to people. It is absolutely life-changing for people. So if you want to, you just stay tuned for the information about the battery and the solar panel, but I'm hoping there'd be a broad interest among our members. Megan, thank you so much. And thank Josh for keeping the baby quiet. I was just a little amazed if all of you heard she's got 2 in college and then she's got a newborn. I'm thinking, oh, I need to go to bed. I'm just thinking about it. Wow, that's quite a range. God bless you and your family. And speaking of God blessing, I leaped right in. Normally we start with a prayer, so we didn't start with a prayer. And how about if we end with a prayer tonight, if we could, for just a moment? So let us just, as we're always in the presence of God, let's become aware of that profound presence of God. And we pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Good and gracious God, we thank you for the opportunity to gather in this way tonight. Thank you for choosing each of us to be on mission with our brothers and sisters in Haiti and Latin America. Thank you for the work of Megan and Josh and their staff at Respire Haiti and ask you to continue to bless them and allow them to do their great work. Empower each of us to be able to remove the obstacles that get in the way of us being available to our friends in Haiti and Latin America. And Lord, we ask your spirit of peace to descend upon Haiti and those parts of the world where there's peace, there's a lack of peace and unrest. We ask this to happen soon, Lord, so that we can begin to travel once again safely to our beloved country of Haiti. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks to all of you for joining us. And Mosanto, thank you for joining us. We have a future presenter. I think he was listening on tonight to kind of see how this goes. Mosanto is a veterinarian that was trained at Fondwa University, and subsequently trained a whole bunch of vet techs that are working in the Hinch region, the Central Plateau. And I became aware of him through our friend Richard, and I'm excited to have him present in an upcoming Zoom. So we'll look forward to that. So wish you all the best. As always, I'm here to serve you. If there's anything I can do to help, please reach out. God bless you all. Thanks, Megan.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thanks so much.
Nice.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.